Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Richard Leopold, and I'm here to talk on a very sensitive issue that I would say is of paramount importance to each and everybody living under the sun. This topic is about money, or how to make money and create wealth. Well, I'm glad that even the church today is talking more about making money and prosperity in general. Governments are trying all over the world to eradicate poverty, and for that matter, even to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. And I would say they have not yet reached the target. I would start by giving statistics that have been proven that 96% of all the money earned is earned by 1% of the whole population. I would say the church is fighting poverty due to the reason that they have keenly observed and concluded that it is an evil that need to be fought from all spheres of life. You find that in a city occupied by about 3 million people, only 1% earns 96% of all the money earned. Simple mathematics would say that out of 3 million people, those people who are building skyscrapers and big houses that are necessary for the other 99 million people to occupy, are built by 1% of 3 million. It's about 300,000 people. 30,000 in fact. 30,000 people. Now, I would like us to think and find out how these people manage to get a lot of money, millions and even billions for that matter, and see whether we can reduce this gap between the rich and the poor. At least everybody, I believe, has a chance to be a millionaire. Anybody can be a millionaire, including you. This has even been biblically proven in the book of Mark chapter 9 verse 23. Jesus himself said that everything is possible with God. Everything is possible to him who believes. So what does that mean? If you believe that you can be a millionaire, surely you can be one. Note this, everything, including you being a millionaire. It is possible. All things are possible to those who believe. The rich, if they can open up, they can frankly say that before they got rich, they had an idea of being rich at one time or another. There is this law called the law of attraction. The law of attraction works like the law of gravity. There is nowhere in the world that you go and find dogs hanging in the air because the force of gravity has refused to attract them to the ground. This force is such an amazing force that is controlled by the brain. In fact, it is believed that the brain is the strongest transmission station ever in the world. No wonder the Mswahili saying that says, akili ni nywele na kila mtu ana zake. The brain emits a frequency, and this frequency is measured by the results. And so, if you're thinking that thought over and over again, imagining in your mind that brand new car that you'd like to drive, that bungalow that you'd like to live in, you are creating an image in your mind. You know, what you need to do is even to go further and even feel it before you have even the money to buy. The law of attraction says that like attracts like. So this amazing force will eventually connect you to the source of the money. And if you want to feel it, simple. You can even go test drive a car that you'd like to drive, even without a coin in your pocket. Go visit that house that you'd like to buy and live in. Even feel it. Feel like you are in that house already. Organize even the furniture in your mind. The furniture that you'd like to keep in that house. See where the kitchen is. Even without anything in that house, I assure you that eventually you'll be assisting your mind to create a picture of feeling, that feeling in you. And from there, you can even start saying, giving gratitude, saying thank you to the universe. Thank you for that house is mine. Thank you for that car is mine. And that feeling, I assure you, through the law of attraction, will make you own that house at one time or another. There is this man who lived between 1866 and 1945 by the name Charles Hanel. He once said that as you think a thought, consequently, the mental attitude will invariably attract such conditions as corresponds to the nature of the thought. So the in thing in becoming a millionaire is simply changing our mental attitude. There's also a philosopher who once advised one of his workers. In fact, he was just a simple worker working in his residence, and he pitied the way the much money he used to pay that fellow. So one time he asked him, what would you like to own as a fortune in your life? The boy thought, now is the moment that my boss will give me something, maybe a fortune. But then the boss wanted to give him the secret behind creating wealth. He was a multi-billionaire. You know what? What he told him is that is to set a goal in mind. Set a goal so exhilarating that it excites and scares you at the same time. The boy used to earn, that salary was, I think, 8,000 shillings in a month. So the boss told the boy, now, if you do that, if you set a goal that is so big that it excites and scares you, and make it your predominant thought, think about it daily, feel as if you've already achieved, start giving gratitude to the universe, you'll eventually get that money. The boy said, now, okay, I'll make a target. You can imagine from 8,000 shillings in a month, that's about 96,000 shillings in a year. The boy said, now, this year, I want to have 10 million shillings in that 1 year. When he went home and told his relatives about it, they said, the boy, you must be crazy. How can you earn from 8,000 shillings in a month to 10 million shillings in a year? And you know what? In a year, the boy had found out a way of getting 9.8 million shillings in that year. What you need to do is only declare. Declare how much money you want to make. Start feeling the new lifestyle. Start appreciating and saying thank you to the universe daily until you reach there. The law of attraction is really obedient. When you think of the things that you want and focus on them with all your attention, the law will give you exactly what you want. Note here that every time you focus on the things that you don't want, the law of attraction does not compute don'ts. You will get what you are thinking. What you don't want is that you end up getting what you don't want. For example, people are thinking about debts, getting out of debts, getting out of debts. And you'll agree with me that by the end of the day, you'll end up creating more debts. This is very clear to, particularly to, allow me to say that in women and the chamas, you borrow 3,000 shillings here, you go pay 5,000 that you had borrowed somewhere else. Before the end of the month, is yet another meeting. You borrow 10,000 shillings, you end up stealing from Peter to pay Paul. By the end of the year, you are in more debts than you expected. So think positively. The word is to think positively. Don't think. Try to erase those memories of lack. And put in your mind, have a predominant thought of what exactly you want to achieve in a year. Or in a particular period of time. You see, here, I would say even the church today, we are losing in one way or another. When we are binding the devil, you end up, even in a prayer, you pray for 30 minutes and you end up mentioning the word of the devil in the casting demons for 20 minutes, and you're praying for 30 minutes. You mention the word of God 5 times. You'll end up praising the devil more than you're praising God. I won't be surprised if Satan visits heaven like he did during the times of Job, and boasting that these people are praising me more than they are praising you. Anything you say, you see Shindwe. Everything you see around Shindwe. Try mentioning the word of God if you want God to help you. Mention God more times than you do the devil. You can even forget about the devil. Forget about those words. So when you say, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want Satan, you are praising Satan. You are welcoming Satan. When you say this, you are attracting the opposite. The law of attraction is the law of creation. Quantum physicists tell us that the whole creation started from a thought. The whole creation started from a thought. And you know what? Your present life is a reflection of your past thoughts. You create your life. You create your life through your thoughts. So with this in mind, you can turn around your mind. You can turn around your lifestyle and become a millionaire, like the few 1% who are millionaires today. The theory is, what your mind can conceive, you can hold in your hands. Take, for example, a woman's pregnancy takes 9 months. And if that baby is born earlier than 9 months, that's an immature baby. So there must be a period that you conceive. You conceive what you get, you conceive your dream, and eventually you hold in your hands. I want us to look at some examples of people we know in this country and try to think of how they have risen up to their status today. We have a very good example of our deputy president, who actually says that he's a hustler, and he likes repeating this over and over again because he remembers where he came from. You can imagine, from a chicken seller, not even a broker of cows and goats. He was a broker of chicken. So the only capital that he could afford was 150 shillings, maybe, to buy one chicken and sell at a profit of 50 shillings. But if he can tell you the truth, if he can open up today, he can tell you that he had a dream that one day, no matter the process, he will own a luxurious car, he will own a good house. Luckily, I tend to take the picture of him selling a chicken. Maybe it was by the roadside. So as he was selling, he used to see Mercedes cars pass by, big cars pass by, and say, now one day I'll own that car. That would help you to feel like you own it already, even before you get it. And today, we can see where he is. And he is going even further. It seems he's going even further. No wonder he has already started feeling being in the State House, living in the State House. And he's privileged maybe of, he goes there oftenly. So for him to feel like he's in the State House is already in him. That is the secret behind rising up the ladder. Now, you would ask yourself how. The problem is our mentality. Most of us, our mentality is that, me excluded, of course, because I know I have the secret. The people have the mentality that you can only get rich if you steal. Now that you don't have even the chance or even somewhere to steal, you'll remain contented with what you have and end up just remaining in the same status. The how you'll get there, you'll get the millions of money that you are thinking about, or I would like you to think about. The how is the domain of the universe. It always knows the quickest, the shortest, and the most harmonious way between you and your dream. We must get rid of that attitude. Get rid of that attitude that money does not grow on trees, or you must have money in order to rise up the ladder. Nevertheless, there are some certain things that you must do even as you climb up the ladder. The Lord Jesus Christ taught once in the book of Luke chapter 6 verse 38 that give and it will be given to you, equal measure, lumped together and overflowing. You have to have that attitude of giving if you want also to receive. Blessed are those who give. Than it is blessed to give than to receive. It was even confirmed by Apostle Paul in the book of Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20 that there is someone who is able to give you exceedingly, abundantly, and above all that you may think or imagine. See? Exceedingly. It's like the word is not even enough to explain. He adds again, abundantly. Not even enough. Above all that you may think or imagine. If something has been proved by the Bible, what we need is only to use those covenant principles. Because it is the truth of the matter. You see, we all know that everything is possible with God, but there is one thing that is impossible with Him. He cannot lie. It is impossible for God to lie, and all scriptures are God-given. So these scriptures tells us that we are capable of achieving whatever our dream. Everything is possible to those who believe. You only need to believe that it is possible even to you. We must also learn, number 2, to appreciate. You should appreciate even before receiving. Appreciating even before we receive. Give thanks for your imaginations almost every hour, possibly. You can spend 2 to 3 minutes, possibly, if you can, if you have the time, to think of your new lifestyle after achieving your dream, after holding what you have conceived for that period of time. It is impossible, however, it is impossible to bring more into your life if you are feeling ungrateful about what you already have. Why? Because the thoughts and feelings you emit as you feel ungrateful are all negative emotions. Whether it is jealousy, whether it is resentment, whether it is dissatisfaction, the feelings will bar you from achieving your goals. You are confusing the frequency. The daily practice of gratitude is one of the conduits by which your wealth comes. The daily practice of gratitude is the conduit by which your wealth comes. Last but not least, you must look and note here clearly that you must look for an automatic way of clearing all your debts before you set this goal. As you set your goal, I remind you yet again that it has to be so big, so exhilarating, that it excites and scares you at the same time. Many will say that you have become a devil worshipper because you now own a big car. You are a landlord earning over 300,000 maybe in a month. Such kind of things are the ones that I would request each and everybody listening to me now to think about. Let that thought be a predominant one in you, and you'll say one day, one time, that surely you had even felt it before you received it. I would like to make an acknowledgement at this point in time to a friend of mine who lived in Huruma Estate some years back. As we speak today, this man is a proprietor of a big company that sells wines and spirits in the city. And I remember him telling me one day when I left school after my O-levels, I was looking for a job. Then we happened to meet one day, and you know what he told me? That if you see a man sitting under a tree on a very sunny day, that is his best moment in his life, as he thinks about how to make money. I'd really like to acknowledge that friend of mine, though I may not mention him by names, but that is the truth of the matter. So now, I think the process is now clear. Think big, the Ben Carson's way. He teaches of thinking big. Believe that you can, for sure. Feel and go possibly go and test drive that car. If you're thinking about a big car, go test drive it. Somebody once said that when you get broke and you have your last 5,000 shillings, buy a new suit. With a new suit, you can go to a motor vehicle selling company and say you want to test drive one of their big cars that you want to buy. It will help you start feeling like you already own that car. If you think of a house, go see that house, plan the furniture, set up, and you'll definitely get it. Start giving gratitude each and every day, even as you wake up in the morning. Thank you. Just say thank you to the universe. Thank you that I own that house. Thank you for my new car. And you'll definitely get there. God bless as we wait for the next chapter that will be coming